Good morning. Team GB's Olympic campaign gets underway today.
Because it all sort of... opening ceremony is on Friday, Jane, but the ball is rolling already.
Exactly, and that's in order to fit everything in. And we're talking about staying cool because it's going to be so hot. Well, my goodness. Yeah, it's going to be humid in Japan, isn't it? Really difficult. But then most of the athletes will just be in air-conditioned rooms for the majority of their time. They're not going to get the chance to get out and about, of course, because of the COVID restrictions. So yes, as we mentioned, the Olympic opening ceremony will take place on Friday, but there's an unofficial start to some games today in order to fit everything in. And it's the women's football team kicking things off for Team GB. They'll play Chile in just under 2 hours' time. I'm very pleased to say we're joined Demi Stokes and one of the three captains for the Olympics, Steph Horton. So, Paul, just looking at how far those three in particular have come, do you feel quite proud to have had such a big hand in the development of the women's game? Coached them all those years ago. What could you see in each of those girls that made you think, yeah, they're going to make it? Even featured in the FIFA rankings, so they were in oblivion back then. So do you reckon this is going to be an easy one, a great first win for Team GB?
Well...
Now, England's cricketers pulled off a thrilling 3-wicket win in their final T20 match against Pakistan to seal a 2-1 series victory. Well, with some impressive performances in this series, Captain Owen Morgan says they'll have plenty of players to choose from for the T20 World Cup in October. South Africa Rugby has announced that all 3 tests against the British and Irish Lions will now take place in Cape Town. Now, the Champions League football is back, but Celtic had to settle for a 1-1 draw on the first leg of their qualifier against Danish side FC Midtjylland. Celtic boxing now, and heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua will fight Alexander Usyk on the 25th of September at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And of course, that fight was due to take place, but then that fight had to be delayed again because of COVID outbreak. Gosh, it's everywhere.
It's got in the way of all sorts of things, isn't it?
Yes.
Jane, thank you very much for that.
Good morning. The countdown to the Olympics is on, with Team GB getting started in just over an hour.
She's going to be talking about the Olympics because if you are one of those people who are obsessed by the Olympics, you can start that today, Jay, basically, can't you?
I know. Well, we thought the countdown was till Friday, but of course they've got to do some extra events beforehand just to fit it all in. And we've got Team GB are kicking things off, and it's the women's team, because in just under an hour's time, they will start their Olympic campaign with the women's football team playing Chile. The opening ceremony takes place on Friday, but as we've said before, there's a few extra events beforehand to fit everything in. A combined GB team will make their... Now, in the last few minutes, it's been confirmed that the first Olympic athlete has been ruled out of an event after a positive coronavirus test. Chilean taekwondo athlete Fernanda Aguirre was due to compete in the women's under 57 kilogram category on Sunday, but now will no longer do that and will be isolating. Meanwhile, Team GB have so far been largely unaffected. 6 athletes and 2 staff members resumed training after having to self-isolate after being identified as close contacts with a fellow passenger on their inbound flight to Japan. But Team GB's chef de mission, Mark England, says he's not worried. Well, back here, England claimed a thrilling 3-wicket victory over Pakistan to win their T20 match at Old Trafford, and with it, a 2-1 series win. Adam Wilde has more. South Africa Rugby has announced that all 3 tests against the British and Irish Lions will now take place in Cape Town. To football now, and Champions League football is back, but Celtic had to settle for a 1-1 draw in the first leg of their qualifier against Danish side FC Midtjylland. Heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua will fight Alexander Usyk on the 25th of September at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And then, of course, Tyson Fury tested positive for COVID, so that has been put back. So COVID's affecting quite a lot of sports.
Isn't it? Thank you very much, Jane. Thank you.